afternoon. Welcome to This is Private Practice. It's Wednesday, 3 days in a row. I've made it to a This is Private Practice on a Wednesday afternoon. I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now. Feeling pretty good. I have been out on the road today. I mentioned earlier this in the week that I have quite a full-on delivery week this week, and we are delivering with the delivery today. But what I am also enjoying in amongst all of that is making sure that my notes are up to date by the end of the day. I was preparing to do this recording, and I was just feeling an incredible sense of ease as I went through my fairly long to-do list. But at the top of my to-do list is any progress notes or client actions that need to be undertaken immediately. And I know that the longer I leave things around any type of client, the more difficult it becomes to re-engage with that information again. So I'm really enjoying having my notes up to date, feeling like everybody's under control, even if I've still got action items that I still need to complete. But at least I haven't got that thing about the notes hanging over my head. So I'm very, very grateful that on a Wednesday of the week, I am not behind on notes, because I've got another fairly full day of delivery tomorrow. I don't know why I looked over there. Another full day of delivery tomorrow. And I've even got some delivery on Friday, which is not my favorite thing to do. I prefer to have my Mondays and Fridays client free, so that if I'm not great or my head's really fuzzy and foggy, I don't feel like I need to be on and up all the time. I think my ability to be on this live this afternoon, which my gorgeous husband has joined. Hello, John. I hope you're enjoying this. Has been my commitment to learning how to pace myself. Now, I am not for a minute suggesting I have this sorted. I still have days and still have times when I overcommit, and John will be very interested to see what I'm going to talk about right now. Hello, Priscilla. Lovely to see you again. You're not in session or falling asleep or anything like that. It's lovely to have you. I think one of the commitments I made coming out of a flare-up that I had in early January was my desire to get better at pacing myself. And that's hard for me, because I'm a bit of an all or nothing person. I'm either working at 100% or I'm not doing anything. There's very few shades of gray when it comes to energy output for me. Anybody who has spent any time with me after 9 p.m. know that I kind of hit this energy wall, and then there's nothing. I liken it to I turn into a pumpkin. I just stop functioning. And if I don't look after my energy during the day, if I'm not eating well, if I'm not focused on my nutrition, if I'm not pacing myself in terms of client demands, then those types of walls or feeling completely exhausted can happen more frequently. Now, they don't stop flare-ups from happening. I am here to tell you that that poor pacing is not the cause of my flare-up. That is not the cause. But to come out of a flare-up and to be able to maintain the energy that I have, especially on a low energy day, it's really important for me to be better at pacing myself. So a couple of keys for me around pacing is letting go of the desire I have to do back-to-back appointments. Now, I did that yesterday. I did 4 hours or 4 sessions straight. I had client, 4 hours. That's now getting to the point where that's not good for me. I did find by the 4th client I was struggling, and I did have quite a severe headache by the end of the day. But I also knew that I had very little attention out that I needed to do yesterday afternoon. So I managed that to pace myself in terms of energy output. I don't know how I used to get through 8 hours of pure consulting in a day. Back in the day, I would drive for 4 hours around Sydney and surrounding suburbs and see 8 clients in a day. So it ended up being somewhere between a 10 and an 11-hour day. That's just ridiculous. I did it because it was how our performance was managed. I did it because I thought that's what I had to do. And then there's no wonder that every month I felt like I wasn't coping, and my reports would get out of hand, my notes would get out of hand. I felt like I wasn't doing anything properly, and that was just really poor discipline from me. But it also reflected the fact that I didn't have people in my world talking to me about this. I didn't have people in my world saying, Joe, maybe you're doing a little bit too much. Maybe we need to get a better method or a better rhythm of how you manage your direct clinical work or client work with the non-direct client work. So that's why this conversation is so important. And in yesterday's video, I actually shared it with some associates or some people in training that I knew, because I think if we're not having these discussions with people entering our professions, then nobody's having these discussions at all. And I know that in corporate Australia, nobody's having these discussions. We continue to do more and more and more and more. The need is never going away, people. The need for us is not going away. Your inability to meet somebody's urgency right now does not define you, and it does not make you a better person. Your ability to be able to turn up and do this work day in and day out, year in and year out, hopefully decade in and decade out, that's what is going to make you great at this work and allow you to feel good about who you are, who you serve, what you're doing, and how you do what you do. So in private practice, we actually get to control our workloads. Surprise! When we are in charge, this is something we get to control. And I think a lot of us forget that we are actually not at the mercy of our marketing. We are not at the mercy of the client who wants to come in now. That if we actually learn who we are, who we serve, and how we want our world of work to be, then we can make really informed decisions on how we can stay healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, while we do this work. And I would love nothing more than to see generations of clinicians of every discipline think that they can do this work forever and know that that's actually a real possibility. I'm speaking to a physiotherapist this week who graduated in 1997 from quite a big class. Now, physio programs here in Australia have a lot of classes. They are usually students who didn't make it into medicine or veterinary science, although quite a lot of them these days are actually making the choice to go into physiotherapy school. And out of a class that graduated in 1997, there are now only 5 people still in practice. And this is from a large university in Victoria here in Australia. It's not from some obscure little university somewhere. And when he told me that statistic, it made him sit up and take notice and go, oh, I don't want that. I've worked too hard and I'm so passionate about my work. I don't want to be one of those people that fall off. So encouraging you to look after you again today. I'm going to be a bit preachy about this, obviously, as I learn how to manage my own coming out of a flare-up this week. But I'm really excited that I got to be here on a Wednesday. However, tomorrow I do have a confession. I have a meeting between 4 and 5. This video is usually recorded at 4:30 in the afternoon. So I might have to let go of wanting to be online and live with you all tomorrow. So we might give this a miss until Friday. And I am looking forward to coming back to Celebration Friday, where it is my expectation that I can celebrate having all my client notes up to date. 2 weeks in a row. That's going to be an awesome feeling. So go have an excellent morning, evening, afternoon. Have a fabulous day tomorrow. And I look forward to checking in with your awesome self on Friday.